What's up, guys? This is obviously Like Crypto here, and today we're going to be talking about how to make money while driving your car or another vehicle. So maybe every day you're driving to work or perhaps to school, or maybe you are an Uber driver and you're looking for that extra passive income. So in this video, we're going to be going through 5 different projects. Some of them are going to be totally free and some of them are going to be requiring an investment. So a little bit of everything for everyone. So the first project on this list is actually a free one called Natix. This is an application that you can download to your iOS or Android devices. And basically, it's using the camera in your smartphone to basically scan the streets. And it's uploading that data into the Natix database, and basically you'll be paid in Natix tokens for doing so. My friend has been running this for multiple months now, and he's making around 16 to $22 per month, which is pretty good income for something that doesn't require any form of investment. Maybe you need to put a bit of a charger on your phone to basically make it function, but other than that, there's really no investment required for Natix. They are also launching an actual dash cam device, but this will be only exclusively for Tesla drivers, and it's priced at $350, which is definitely a lot more expensive than the other alternatives in this list. And I'm sure that a lot of you watching this video probably do not have a Tesla, but it does come along with a couple of extra benefits. That includes also, like, I think there's a bundled up tokens once you actually buy this. So there's going to be definitely a lot more higher boost that you're going to be getting using this versus the actual application. We don't have the exact date when this is going to be launching, but I'm presuming that it's going to be happening somewhere around this summer. Now let's jump into also talking about a bit of the price. So it's currently sitting at 0.014, and it's been pretty stable throughout this whole time. It's not a token that has existed that long, launched back in last summer. And when we compare to a lot of other deepened projects in general, the token development tends to go very fast because there's immense sell pressure for the token. But in terms of its ranking, 827, and seeing it's not listed on any of the top 1 exchanges outside from Gate, really. So there's a lot of room for growth for Natix, in my opinion. There's a lot of partnerships that are along the way. So in terms of the future price development, it's looking out pretty good. So we want obviously projects which are going to be generating us passive income for a long period of time. And Natix definitely, when we look at this yearly chart over here, has been doing pretty well. Now, the next project on this list is called Dimo. These are devices that you can basically put into your every car that you have. They also have a companion application, which I do believe is actually free. So a lot of these do have the applications which you can download, and you can see what type of data they are basically collecting and all that. And as you can see, it's totally free. But you can actually get rewards also if you actually own a Tesla device. Everybody else not owning a Tesla can also buy the actual device and start earning through that, which is currently priced at $169. That is their newest model, known as Dimo LTE R1. There were 2 other previous models which were a bit more cheaper, like the Dimo Macaron. I think this was sold at $60 at some point. And then we have Dimo Auto P, which two of these are probably already fully phased out, and this LT R1 model is basically like the latest and the most powerful model that they have done, and has also the highest earning potential. So I believe if you would buy a Macaron from second party, third party, seller, probably is going to be having less of an earning potential compared to the LTR1. So this is a pretty more affordable investment. In terms of the RYI, the most amount of people are making $31 in terms of Dimo tokens per month. So we are talking about roughly 5 to 6 months of you getting return on your investment, which is not bad at all. It's actually very competitive, in my opinion. Obviously, some people might be increasing their driving behavior because they want to mine more. and obviously with certain cars that's going to be costing more in gas. So there are a lot of these types of situations that you have to count in, but maybe you're driving already and you're not changing your driving behaviors after getting these devices. So Dimo is definitely one of these more better options that I would definitely recommend. And in terms of its price, it's been pretty stable. So it started out like 3 cents back in 22, and it's a bit of a miracle that a project has been running around for 3 years and has been pretty stable in its price. When we go like the yearly chart over here, there's not really, I mean, yes, it has significantly gone down from its all-time highs and all that, but in terms of like lasting appeal, there's definitely good things going for Dimo, and I think people are still making $30 a month, the best performers. So I mean that is the average. So I mean the best people are making what, like they're making $43. So this is another device which has a pretty good longevity over here, and obviously Dimo is working on other updates and things like that on the roadmap, so it's pretty promising also for the future. Now, in terms of very, very premium projects on this list, we have BMAPs. This was previously known as Hivemapper, which I have done videos on the past. I actually owned a device which was stolen by a friend of mine. Well, not a friend anymore, but sad story. But this was another very, very high performing device. Now, the kind of the negative over here is that this is currently out of stock. So it's that popular that all the devices basically have been sold out. And the whole plan of the BMAPs is basically to collect data. So they have dash cams, and they are just basically building out their own Google Maps, which is a lot more dated. So if you go into certain areas on Google Maps, you can see like, oh, this was filmed last in 2016. These types of decentralized, frames of work actually keep the maps a lot more up to date with the current ongoings, which is a lot more important for a lot of people if they're going to be planning some type of logistic campaign or something like that, or they're looking for to drive to a certain place without going into a roadblock. And they do have an application which you can download. And as I already said, like here's a comparison with the Google and the BMAPs. So Google has a lot of outdated stuff, and the BMAPs is a lot more superior. In terms of their roadmap and things that they are doing, this project has the highest amount of potential in the future, in my opinion, in terms of like actually becoming like a billion-dollar market cap project. Like that's how valuable the mapping data is, and they can have clients like Uber, Bolt, Yango, all of these big, driving companies. So this is something of a token that has, in my opinion, the most highest value for the long term. And a lot of people are making good amount of money. So, it's very fluctuating. So 82% of the people are making $1 to $84 a month. And that is pretty competitive given the fact that the device is, basically costing you $600. So we're talking about, once again, 6 months of RYI. So, no, wait. Yeah, so maybe a bit more than that. So depending on where the price is currently at, because there's been a lot of fluctuations on the Hivemapper price. But when we look at the market cap, it's also been pretty stable. I mean, yes, there has been a lot of big bumps over here. We had, once again, that big January, December spike, which happened to all coins. And right now it is 81% down from its all-time high, but given out that I think there's a lot of potential for it to go up in future because it's such a competitive niche that they are on, and there's so much demand for a cheaper Google alternative, because I think Uber and other these companies they're paying like millions, I think 200 million for mapping data for Google every single year or something. So them getting more cheaper, things is very beneficial for them. So in terms of, trying to buy a bit more expensive device, which is going to be making you a return probably in 6 months or so, 7-8 months, this is the one to go for. But the problem obviously is that all of these devices are currently out of stock, and because there has been so much in demand. But as you can see, the fluctuation on these prices are pretty immense. Some crazy people are making $756 a month. So basically less than a month, they're already paying the return of the actual miner, which is crazy to me. So one person has made $2,049 this month with the actual Hivemapper, and some other people $1,000. So at least around 4 people have already paid in a 1 month the whole return on the device, which is crazy to me. So it's another one that I would definitely, you can put up a notify when stocked and see, get a message when it's actually coming back to store. Then we have Soarchain, which is probably the weakest link on this list. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they have basically the most affordable miner out of this list. Is currently priced at $83 for the Soarchain Mini, and obviously you can get a discount on this website using my codes. But the problem is the ROI is very horrible. Most people are making around 1 to 44 cents per month using this device, and the best ones are making around $4, which would mean that, yeah, it's like on the best case scenario possible, we're talking about like 20 months to basically recoup the investment on the actual device. Actually more than that. So not a very good ROI. But in defense of Soarchain, they do have a very active roadmap for this year, which does include a couple of things which technically could make the price go up. They are talking about a commercial launch of the mobility GPT 2.0, which includes subscription-based and usage-based plans for businesses. So if the businesses are basically coming in, that could mean that there's going to be perhaps more price action to make the Soarchain to go up. But as I said, that is speculative and it may not happen. It may not have effect on the price. Sometimes businesses coming in are not directly correlating with the price. It is what it is. And, you know, we talked about earlier about that red landslide, and that's exactly what Soarchain has been about. But when you look into the past year, I mean, it's not looking that much better. Very much 82% down in the 1 year. So in price development, not very good. The only upside here is that it's not on any top exchange listed. So if it gets a couple of centralized exchange listings and it actually gets like business enterprise partners, it could start actually going up. And it could be a bit of a moonshot. But I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath on it. But I thought I would be featuring this because it has to be a top 5 list after all. And then lastly, we have Geo Pulse by GeoDNet, which have manufactured other deep-in devices like weather miners, which are part of this whole umbrella. And this is a pretty interesting miner as it can be installed on the roof of your car. It can be in front of the windshield out on the open. And if I understood right, it can be also inside of the car. It can be also used with actual e-scooters or motorbikes. So you don't even need to have a car with this one. As long as it's basically going through the streets, it basically is counting. And this is not a dash cam, so it's basically collecting forms of location data. It's more like a 10x more accurate than the GPS, so that's a pretty interesting statement. And there's also a companion application, which is not officially launched on Android or iOS app stores, but it's on test flight and you can download the Android APK file directly. But obviously, for some people, that might be a deal breaker. You want to have absolutely trusted and vetted application. I understand that. And there seems to be also some type of rewards going on the Quest application, even if you do not have the actual device, which is priced at $149, which makes it $20 more cheaper than Dimo. And it actually has a pretty good ROI based on my understanding. So in terms of tracking out the ROI, people are making $100 to $159 a month, which is crazy. The best earners are making already $500, which is crazy. But that might be due to that this includes also the GOD Mobile CM, which is their weather miner. So those statistics that you just saw might be from the weather miner and not from the Geo Pulse. So if there are people on the chat that are using the Geo Pulse, please let me know in the comment section below how much money you are making using the Geo Pulse per month, as this might be a bit more distorted look, as we don't know as we are comparing these two different products with each other. In terms of the price development for the token, it's amazingly good in terms of 3-year period over here. It's only ranked 501. It's not on a single top exchange here. Maybe Gate can be considered like tier 2. So there are a lot of price growth potential for it in the future for the GeoDNet. So I see a lot of good price growth for the future, and I don't see the token price like suddenly crashing or anything like that. So it seems a pretty solid investment contrasted to it was 3 cents at one point. And even if it would go back to those levels, the ROI would probably still be rather good, especially with the Geo Pulse device. But as I said, There is also the satellites, which you can actually buy, which is another option, totally different niche, obviously, and those cannot be installed on your car, obviously. And there is this IoTix campaign. We have covered the Nebula previously on the channel, and they had a similar project going on where IoTix was distributing tokens. So it's dual mining. You're getting two different tokens. You're getting geodealing tokens and IoTix while driving with this device, which is crazy. But I'm not sure is that project still ongoing. But it says more gaming features and quests are coming soon, so different types of rewards might be in store. But this seems to be another very, very strong contender on this list. Now that basically wraps up my top 5 here. There's a lot of good options here. If you want to start free, obviously go with Natix or Dimo in case you own Tesla. Try them out, make some money, and maybe pour that earned money into these devices. Obviously, technically now would be the best time to buy these devices, as the market is probably going to be peaking on end of December by latest. So that's when the bear market is going to be really starting. So I would buy the devices now, or during this summer, I mean, so you could basically get the ROI on those devices back. But definitely you can combine and use multiple devices at the same time. There's no compatibility issues, long as you have slots enough on your car and chargers for your phone. I don't see any problem you basically using multiple applications at the same time. But as always, make sure to subscribe and like, and obviously you're going to find all the discount and the invite codes in the description down below. Support your guy. I will be seeing you in the future in the next deepen video or whatever crypto stuff we're going to have in store. Thanks for watching. See you soon.